All right, everybody, here we go. Today's tangle is C-Stem. C-Stem. And by Anjanetta Landgren. This one is a grid tangle. First step would be inside your grid to do this C shape, not all the way to the middle. Leave a space there, right? And then aura that. And I think I would tend to draw this one first, but I can see why you don't, because this is the one that needs to be into the corner. So, you know, whichever. Just make sure you have a nice big space there so you can aura this and still not touch there in the middle. Well, I imagine that it really wouldn't make that much difference if you did. And then you do this little triangular shape here, top and bottom. And then another little triangular shape, top and bottom, and this time you fill it in. And then some stripes this way and that way. And then in the samples, there's some variations. If you do them all going the same direction, oh, you can't see. Oh, sorry. If you do them all going the same direction, they look like this pattern. But if you alternate them, they look like that. Both of them are very cool. Haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this yet. We'll just, you know how it goes. We'll just pick up a pencil and start, and whatever happens, happens. Let's see. I'm going to create myself a grid, but I think I'm going to make slightly wonky. I'm not going to make it really wonky, but I'm going to do a slightly wonky grid, sort of on a diagonal. So it's not going to be super wonky. I've done them, you know, super wonky, but I'm going to do it like that. Can you see that? I'm having a hard time. I don't know. I moved my tripod, and I'm not sure it's exactly back in its proper place, but that will have to do. So we're gonna do it like that. And I kind of like the look of this. I don't know if you can tell, but see how they've left a space, like a grout line almost. So they've done the squares first, but they're not touching each other. See how this one, they're touching each other? I kind of like this look, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my pencil line as a guideline, and that's where I'm going to draw those squares, or sort of squares. I actually think I need to make sure that they're all going to end up on the page. Let's see, how do I want to do this? This one needs to be, yeah, I'm not overly happy with the shape of that grid. Let me try that again. For some reason it's not speaking to me. So, you know, that's what pencils are for, and that's what erasers are for. I'm going to try that again. I still want it at a diagonal grid, but I want more of in here, like that, and in here like that. That's better. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? I have this is not in the right position. And I'm sorry, I'm going to probably end up off the screen a little bit sometimes because something is not quite right with my setup. I don't know why. I may have to move my reference background so that, because something's not right. But anyway, all right, let's do that instead. Let's have something like that, and then these are going to curve this way. So I want one in the middle, and one kind of here, and one kind of there. I think I want to do it like that. I don't know, can you see that? You can kind of see that. So how was you guys' weekend? We had a really awesome time. Went down to Oceanside, which is near San Diego. My husband was doing a bike ride with some of his friends. And I went along to watch and take pictures and hang out with my friends. And my parents came, hung out for the weekend, and it just was a fun time. My husband and his friends bicycled 50 miles. That was good. And they did this ride last year. Oh my goodness, it was brutally hot last year. Last year it was over 100 degrees, which is way too hot to be out bicycling or doing any other major exercise. This year it was really nice. It was in the 70s. Beautiful weather, a little breeze. It was just awesome. There was a little, in the morning there was a bit of coastal fog rolled in, but it didn't last very long. It was just delightful. And of course I brought my pens with me and I did a little bit of drawing. I practiced a couple of this week's tangles in a bigger piece, but I didn't practice all of them. Didn't really have time. I could have done a little bit more drawing, but I did more picture taking instead. This new camera of mine has this absolutely spectacular zoom lens on it that I was able to stand back way up on the pier and take pictures of, I mean, all the way zoomed in, head and shoulder shots of surfers in the waves, and then I could put it on sports mode and do burst shots so that I could get some really good action shots of the surfers, and I could get pictures of birds in the water and, you know, all sorts of stuff. Oops, I didn't go as far over as I thought I was going to. That's all right. And yeah, so I spent a lot more time taking pictures than I did drawing. Okay, so there's my grid for this. I think that's really very attractive like that. Then I have to decide whether I'm going to make my C's go all the same direction or alternating. I like the idea of alternating. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to zoom in on one that's kind of square. And I'm going to start with that one. So it goes like that and like that. And then Aura this, like so, right? And then a little triangle, and a triangle, and then in this part here, it's got this. Yeah? See? And then we just do that again. That's the basic tangle. I'm gonna zoom back out so that don't end up off the screen for you guys. But I think I'm gonna do them every other, going and I might not fill all these with the stripe either. I might leave some like that, which I think, yeah, I think that might be what I'm going to do. So I'm going to draw them all this way first and then decide where I want to put those stripy bits. To turn. I think I'm gonna make these ones striped and the ones going the other way not striped. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And why did I make that decision? I really don't know. It's just the feeling that I have that that's what Tile says it wants me to do. Now this one's going to be a little, I can make a rounder C shape because since it's more of a rectangle, I have more room there to kind of play with, right? Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then this one goes the other way. Right? Yes. So then this one up here goes this way. Just remember the trick that if you're doing something every other one, that the ones that connect to the corners diagonally are going to be the same. So that one's going to connect to that one, this one, this one, this one. That one's going to be the same shape. And then the other way around, this one's going to be the same as that one. All the corners and that's how you're going to know what's connected to what the right way. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then this one's that one, this one's this one, this one is this one. This is nice for de-stressing. I really need this time to draw. I did have an awfully good time, a wonderful time this weekend. But it was a lot of on the go. It was a lot of, sleeping in a hotel room that I'm not familiar with, and so I don't sleep well. The bed was just not for me. And the pillows, my husband and I both decided that we need to bring our own pillows whenever possible when we're traveling, because neither of us cared much for the pillows at this hotel. They seemed like they'd be good when we first got there, but after sleeping on them, they weren't helping us at all to get a good night's rest, that's for sure. But between all the stimulation and on-the-go stuff, I really need some downtime, and this is going to really help me to relax. Yeah, I like that. I almost feel like it needs more dark somewhere on the tile, but let me finish first. Might just be that I just feel, because it's not finished. Sometimes you have to wait and make those kinds of decisions after you have completed the whole pattern. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just start making those kinds of decisions earlier on. But I think with this one I need to wait. But I do feel like I need some darker spots. And it might be that these little lines will be enough once I'm done. I don't know. Just have to kind of wing it here. Yeah, I still feel like it needs some more dark. Question is, where does it need the dark? All right, let's see. Does it need dark? No? Maybe not. See, that's why you wait and make those decisions later. I think I just need shading and then I'll be good. And I think I'm not going to shade each one separately. I could shade each one individually, but I think I'm going to shade it as a whole. Because to me it looks kind of like a big pillow. Maybe it's because I was talking about pillows earlier. I don't know. But I'm going to just shade the whole thing as a whole. A little bit around this edge. And this edge. And a little bit more on this one. And a little bit on this edge. I think it needs some here. And maybe here. Which side? This side. That. Okay, let's try that. Let's get the blender out. Blend that puppy. Can't believe I'm meeting a couple of girlfriends for lunch today. I cannot believe that we have to go shopping for Christmas ornaments already. For decorating a church. We're not putting them up yet, but you know, it's a church. There's a committee for this, so you can't just go out and buy stuff. You gotta price it out first, and then you can ask permission based on price, and then you can go out and buy it. So, you know, it's a two-step process. There we go. I really like this. Make sure I sign it. And this one was called, oops, my phone turned off. C stem. There we go. Oh, I like that. Okay. That's a good one. And if you like grid tangles, this is a good way to go with it. I mean, either way, whether they're touching or not touching, but I really kind of like this look with this kind of grout line thing happening there. Really like that. All right, you guys have a really great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.